face, baby. Yeah, I'm every woman fantasy. My mom. That song stuck in my head, bro. All right, look, we about to go ahead and check out some more Mr. Nightmare. My bad, I did kind of go like a little Nightmare Files. Not really a binge. We got like what 2 or 3 videos. I'm looking for my cord to plug this crap in, whatever. Also, streaming, gaming. That's what I know. All right. I told you. Well, I think I told a few of you guys. Actually, what I'm doing is, so I'm gonna make a separate channel. And I'm gonna like use that one strictly for gaming. I get my new computer. All right. I get it at the end of this month, meaning March. March come next, meaning in March. Then I'm gonna have a new channel that's gonna be strictly for gaming. This one I'm just gonna keep it like strictly just like reactions. My new one's gonna be like the gaming. I especially when MK coming out, I have to make a new one, bro, because that I'm about to go like, if you guys remember like the beginning of my channel, it really kind of started off with Mortal Kombat. You know we're about all that. We're about to check out 3 disturbing true birthday horror stories. Now I really can't see this one being scary because birthdays are usually packed with like hella parents and hella kids. So I mean, what can really happen hella scary? Then again, it wasn't when I saw it in the hood with like Minnie Mouse and Elmo. Them mouse was twerking like Minnie Mouse was thick as hell. But let's go. Buzz down. Wait, you know what I just thought about though? Wait, birthday party, not just kid birthday party. Close to their closets. Hold up.
For my friend Ryan's 21st birthday, I threw him a surprise party at my house.
Shut up.
I invited all of our friends in our group, plus some acquaintances and friends of friends who were brought along. My parents weren't home for the night, so it worked out nicely. The peak of the night was when Ryan walked in the door and all of us got to scream surprise. It was a Friday night, so mostly everyone drank a decent amount.
That don't work in real life.
I tried not to get too drunk, just so I could stay alert in case anyone was doing something dumb in my parents' house.
Yup.
We had cake and other desserts set up for Ryan too. I did a lot of walking around offering cake and beers to everyone, even people I'd never met before, including one guy with long blonde hair and a football shirt sitting on my couch, and some dude who looked a few years older sitting on my grandma's old rocking chair that she gave to my mom. I whispered into Ryan's ear at some point that half these random dudes that our friends brought over looked either kind of creepy or odd.
I bet they were not invited.
He agreed with me, a bit over-enthusiastically, but that's probably because he was a lot drunker than I was. The night progressed and everyone got drunker, and everyone was doing increasingly silly and dumb things. The guy who was still in the rocking chair started...
My bad, hold on. I don't mean to stop it already, my bad. But that's why, like, okay, look, if it's like, if I'm having like a kickback or whatever, boom, I had it in my place. Because the kickback's mostly like, you just hang out, you invite like the friends you know, boom. They, maybe it's like a couple people they bring on like they know, but it's always people you know, like you know everybody. It's like, look, hang out, drink a little bit, play a couple games, boom, boom. But the actual party, like, no, I'm never ever having that at my own place because you gotta worry about situations like this, because when you go to a party, 9 times out of 10 people who come with other people are gonna be like, they're gonna bring like 4 or 5 people with them, and most people aren't gonna know them. So it's gonna be a house full of random people, whatever. And then so you gotta watch like people drinking, doing drugs, messing up the house, whatever, stealing, all that type of stuff. And it's your place, so now you gotta watch. And when you done and ready to wrap everything up, you gotta try to get everybody out and make sure everything's still safe, make sure nobody's still in the house, make sure nobody stole anything. But if I'm at somebody else's place, then I just go when I'm done. So if I'm at a party, not happening in my house.
Started to hum a song really loudly and obnoxiously. The rest of us just watched and found it hilarious for some reason.
Oh wait, what did it say? My bad, go back.
The guy who was still in the rocking chair started to hum a song really loudly and obnoxiously.
Yeah, crazy.
The rest of us just watched and found it hilarious for some reason.
I probably would have thought that if I was drinking.
The guy with the long blonde hair started to sing a completely different song, and everyone else kind of just joined along.
It better not be
It was a room full of drunk 20-something-year-olds singing very loudly. It was a fun time, but eventually it had to end, and people started leaving one by one as they sobered up. A couple of people stayed the night because they were too drunk to drive, including Ryan and our friend Sean.
Call Uber.
I slept in the living room with them. We left the TV on, with the movie The Hangover on in the background. I suddenly thought to ask the two, who were those 2 guys who had been in the living room on the couch and
they were not invited, they were random.
Night? Sean said the guy with the long blonde hair was a friend of one of our other friends. But as far as the guy in the rocking chair, neither of them had a clue.
I knew it. Yep.
I decided to text everyone in the group chat we had made prior to the surprise party to find out who was friends with this creepy dude in the rocking chair. One by one, our friends said they had no idea. It seemed everyone assumed he knew someone there, but apparently that wasn't the case. I was waiting on 2 more friends to answer, but I was pretty sure one of them had to have known him. Anyway, Sean and Ryan fell asleep quickly, so I decided to go to sleep too.
Man, when I was spooked out,
I woke up an hour later, though. I guess to the sound of the TV. I checked my phone, which was sitting on my chest. There were a bunch of texts from the group chat.
Oh no.
To put it short, every single person in the group chat said they had no idea who that was.
I knew it.
Set up to let that sink in better. Some random, creepy-looking older dude snuck into my house and hid in plain sight for hours. I suddenly looked around the living room, lit up by the glow of the TV.
He in the corner.
I felt as if my entire house was unsafe and that we weren't alone. I quietly stepped out from the living room towards the kitchen. I went over to the tiny hall that separates the kitchen from the 3 bedrooms on the first floor, still using the glow from the TV in the living room as my light source to navigate. I think because I didn't want to draw attention, I guess. I stepped into the hall and froze. I was pretty sure I could see something at the end of the hall. It was too dark, though.
Turn the light on.
I took a couple steps forward, and it became more clear that there was a person standing there at the end of the hall. Then to make it even worse,
run back!
I heard a faint, low, cackling kind of laugh at the far end of the hall.
Bro, I slowly
backed away without acting fazed at all. Meanwhile, I felt like my heart dropped to my stomach. I got back to the living room and shook my 2 friends awake.
Man, I'd have been
I whispered to them that someone was in the house with us. I got on the phone with the police and talked as low as I could into the phone so that the woman on the other end could still hear me. And as I was on the phone, I saw the creepy guy from earlier, the guy who was on the rocking chair all night, suddenly walk out to the living room, look at us sitting there, past us, and walked out the front door.
This mug got balls. He ain't scared of none of you. Oh my god. Your pockets must be weak, boy. This is what you say. He came out the hallway, boom. Looked at y'all like, these boys don't want no smoke, and just left. Like,
I was literally frozen. I think my friends were too. I told the 911 operator that the intruder just left my house.
Yup.
She said,
I mean, stop again. From what it sounds like, he ain't got no gun or no knife. If me and my boys chilling, boom, we on the couch sleep, that sounds so bad. If we chilling, boom, they on the couch sleep, and it's like 3 of us, and you just come out, we don't know you are, you're not just gonna walk out, bro. We about to jump the hell out your ass, clown.
Said lock all the doors and we should be fine. A cop came by for a few minutes just to check in. After he left, my friends and I found a trail of blood stains on the carpet in the hallway.
Did he kill?
The stains led to the end of the hall, where I saw him standing. Then it just stopped. Needless to say, no sleep was had that night.
Hell no. No, you can't just end it like that, Mr. Nightmare. Wait, where did that blood come from? I really need to know, like, did he cut himself or something, or...
I'm sure we all have those memories from our childhood that make us uncomfortable to think about. How we were so young and innocent and unknowing to something bad that was about to happen. I was in the 1st grade. It was either a Friday or Saturday night. All I know is we didn't have school the next day. My friend's mom set up a little party for his birthday at a local bowling alley. All his friends and their parents were there. And we were sectioned off into different lanes to play with different groups. I wasn't having a lot of fun, mainly because I stunk at bowling, and still do to this day.
I suck at bowling, but I do like it, I ain't gonna lie.
I remember complaining and crying to my mom that I didn't want to play anymore, and I think one of the kids started taking my turn for me. There was a back room sectioned off for the party with a bunch of snacks, sweets, and sodas. So while my mom was talking to some of the other parents, I think that's when I snuck to that back room to fill my stomach with cupcakes and other sweets.
Ooh, that shit do look
there was a
good.
door leading to the outside in this room. It led to the back of the building, I guess. And the next thing I remember was the moment a man was standing at the doorway telling me to come outside and check something out.
Don't do that.
To this day, it still makes me cringe, thinking back and remembering that I actually listened to the random man and went out there. God. Upon stepping outside, the man knelt down to my level so that we were face to face. Then he pointed at a truck that was running maybe 5 yards away.
Is it just serial killers, whatever? Do kidnappers just purposely buy this damn white van? It's like, I gotta have this particular...
I remember he said he had the rest of the sweets and snacks in the back of his truck, and he needed help unloading it. He also offered to give me a $20 reward if I helped him. Now, I'm sure in my 6-year-old mindset, I was thinking about how cool I'd look, and how jealous all the other kids would be. I followed the man to his truck. He opened the back door for me, and pointed at a big black plastic bag sitting in his back seat. I climbed into the truck, and the next thing I remember was the horrific, ear-piercing scream of a woman. It was my mom, standing at the back doorway of the bowling alley, screaming my name over and over. I ran to my mom, who grabbed me and held me tight as I heard the sound of tires skidding out, followed by a truck speeding away. I turned to look, and the truck was already gone.
Man, your mama came just in time, my guy.
My mom was in tears, scolding me. A few other parents and kids came out, and it turned into a huge scene. It was a traumatizingly embarrassing experience for me. The bowling alley had to shut operations for the night, and the party had to be cut short. I've asked my mom about this story so many times. She said the police arrived after my dad picked me up, and my mom told the police everything I told her. She also got a decent look at the man and his truck, so she gave a description to the police as well.
The typical kidnapper van.
Nothing was ever heard as far as the police catching him. All I have to say is, if any of you are parents, burn the phrase "don't talk to strangers" into your kids' heads.
Nah, that is hell. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I already intend to do that to my daughter, my guy. Like, no, like, I swear, because it was a situation like that, bro, I'm going crazy. I'm killing. If you try to hurt my kid or take my kid from me, like, at that point, you stole everything from me anyway. Like, that's the end of my life too, also, because I'm killing. All right, I don't care. But it's like stupid to me, because like, but it ain't too stupid, because at 6 years old, I can't say I would have did it. I can't say I would have not, because I done hella dumb stuff as a kid. I done hella dumb stuff as an adult. But like, I wouldn't done that as an adult. But it's like, me honestly at 6, I don't think I'd have did it. I really don't, because that was one thing my parents did kind of make big on me, like, don't talk to strangers or whatever, like, don't go to strangers' home. Because I remember I had this neighbor who was like really, really friendly. He used to always try to get like my brother and my sister like candy and stuff. Luckily, he just turned out he was legit just a friendly dude. Like, he was not trying to kidnap them. But even as a kid, even I was telling them like don't go in this man's house, don't eat this stuff. Like, we don't know him. And I'm like 8 or 9 at the time, because my brothers were younger than me at the time. I wasn't 6, but I was damn close. But even then, I knew, like, bro, no, this is hella stupid. I'm gonna tell you something hella funny, how the tables turn when you're really in these situations, and how really what happened. All right, we're just gonna finish the video though. First, wait.
For my son's 12th birthday, my wife and I threw him a little party in the backyard. We invited the whole family, as we usually did for any of our kids' birthdays, and let him invite all of his friends too. We live in rural New Jersey, so our backyard connects to forest on 2 sides. We also have a pretty big property, which allowed us to space out a bunch of tables on the grass with food and refreshments. The little party went into the night. Most of our guests left, but closer family and some of our friends stayed late. It was probably 8 o'clock. The mosquitoes were out in full force, so I decided to run over to the shed at the far end of the backyard by the woods to fetch the tiki torches. I grabbed like 6 torches and set them on the grass while I went back in to look for fuel. However, while I was in the shed, I heard steps in the woods. I stopped what I was doing to take a look out there, but honestly, it was just too dark to see out into the woods. After finding the fuel, I went back to the part of the yard everyone else was at and pitched the torches into the ground. The 6 torches gave off a decent amount of light while keeping us safe from the blood-sucking pests.
You mentioned nothing about hearing steps?
There were about 6 kids left, including my son, and they all wanted to play hide-and-seek in the woods. My wife and I allowed it, just making sure to tell them to stay close to the tree line. My son and his friends went to play their little game in the woods, which left the rest of us to sit in peace for a little bit. It was a solid 15 minutes of talking with relatives and hearing the kids laughing and yelling in the near distance out in the woods.
I mean, as a
kid,
I played in the
yelling
woods.
Turned to screams. Concerning sounding screams from the kids. All of us looked at each other, sitting up in concern. The kids one by one came running out of the woods, yelling that there's something in there.
I knew it.
We don't have bears or any big predatory animals.
No, but you got killers.
So that was not the first thing we assumed it to be. I told all the kids to stay near the patio area. My brother Dom and I, being the biggest men there, decided to go investigate. We took a couple flashlights and off we went into the pitch black woods.
You about to show me no video clip, are you?
The only sounds we heard around us were crickets and other night bugs. So we went deeper, and that's when we started to hear something else. It sounded like an animal at first, but as we followed the sound to get closer, the sound started to become more human-like. We continued to walk, and we agreed.
If I hear that damn sound, I'm not walking towards it, my guy. You so stupid. It's always funny to me because, like, in these situations, it's always, I like the way people, it's funny to me how people always compare, oh, white person, oh, black person, like how they act in those situations. Which is funny to me, though, because, all right, so me and my boy, I'm gonna tell you guys at the end, but look, let's just say we did that. We was like, man, we had to talk, well, white people always do scary movies. White people always do this, but I'm gonna tell you something hella, how the table was turned on our ass at the end. I'm gonna tell you a story. Let's just finish this, but I'm not walking towards this sound. I don't care. Clown.
We both had the feeling that we were being watched.
Yeah, you
like
probably
stalked. I put my arm out to stop Dom.
Man, I'm holding Dom hand.
Standing in the silence now, the best way I could describe the sound we were hearing was a moaning, angry kind of sound. It sounded human, but it was a bizarre sound.
Man, me and Dom running
back.
back.
Cracks of the leaves on the ground ahead of us. We aimed our lights over there, and there was someone or something behind the tree. The moaning sound stopped. Dom stepped forward and called out.
I really can't do this, bro, because, all right, look, me and you, we in the woods, boom, right? We hear this sound. If we in the woods and I hear the sound, yes, I'm holding your hand. I don't care, you call me gay all you want. I'll be gay for about the next 10 seconds until we get out this wood. I'm holding your hand, I'm not letting go, and we running back. We getting the hell up out of here, clown.
The moaning sound stopped.
This is hella good but scary at the same time, man.
Dom stepped forward and called out. What happened next was textbook horror movie stuff. A scream so loud, so blood-curdling, so inhuman filled the air. I'm sure it could be heard for miles. Dom and I turned and booked it back to the property.
Oh, now you want to?
We waved at everyone to go inside when we made it back.
You would not tell me. I already been in.
Dom got on the phone with the sheriff's
like...
department. They said it was probably a wild animal.
I'm already in the house.
We wanted to insist it was a human, but we honestly couldn't. We to this day don't know who or what we saw and heard in those woods. But it was definitely stalking us and the kids when they were playing hide and seek. And that scream we heard, it just didn't sound human to us.
Hell no. Man, hearing those sounds, yeah, that would have scared. I don't think I'd have been able to still live there. Like, don't get me wrong, you can't just up and move. It ain't that easy. But if the woods is right there, my guy, I'm gonna probably do some slick stuff, like low-key burning down my mistake. Like, I don't know what happened. It was just a forest fire officer. I don't know what happened, but the woods gone now, my guy. But I was funny though. So, like, you know, like, so watching scary movies, especially black people, we always say stuff like, man, if I was in it, I'd do this. Man, I'd do this. So me and my boy, we sit there, we in college, right? And we get this call from the police. They ask about his roommate, like, yo, your roommate there, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, he's not here. Not thinking nothing of it, boom, hang up. He called again. He's like, your roommate there? Yeah. And my boy like, no, he's not here. Anything going on? He's like, yeah, but basically, long story short, he went on this, like, this spree of, like, wanting to kill himself and harm others, and was like going crazy. So, and then let me blur out my boy name, my bad. So anyway, he was like, dang, now think about it, because he just rented this movie about a school shooting. He also was reading this book about a school shooting. So this time I'm like, oh hell no, I'm about to. So I grab my book bag, boom, Greg, check it out. And my boy like, wait, no, go there. Let me just finish with it. Let me finish this work. I'm almost done with this homework, whatever. So I'm like, bro, I was like, you got like 5 minutes and I'm gone. So we sit there listening to the song by TLC, I Don't Want No Scrubs, whatever. And so we sit there, because the radio was just on, it was just on random. So just playing whatever, boom, boom, he doing his work. And I was like, at that moment we start talking, I was like, man, it's always funny to me, like, white people in scary movies, when they be like going upstairs, so they be like one stair at a time or something. He's like, I know, and they be all falling and stuff, and we cracking. I was like, man, I've been up like 5 shit at a time. He's like, I know, I wouldn't be falling, so we cracking, ha ha ha. And then tell me why the door fly up, like, fool, like, I swear that the door was locked. This dude must put his key in there with the Swiffy and kick the door open. The door, and it was his roommate can't hit. The door was like, boom, flew up, whatever. And next thing you know, all you hear is both of us screaming, like, girls, like, ah, like, we screaming, whatever, and I, like, take off, right? So, like, it was we in apartments, we in, like, little college dorms. Like, it was that door, and you go upstairs to the upstairs room, but that's leads to another door. So, as we go, boom, I dart. I'm going up, like, one step at a time. I'm, like, so scared. And then I fall. Like, it was legit, like, also fake scary movie stuff. You know, the scary movie, you fall down the stairs and you go down it. That's exactly like that. I fell. And I went down a few stairs as I fell. And I'm like, it's like a scary movie, like, as a part of this, like, ah! like I'm going down the stairs or whatever, and I can see my boy just still going whatever. So I get up and I hear his roommate just holler like, "What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing?" So I get up and now I'm like chugging. I got this heavy book bag, this laptop on like inside, and I'm just chugging it upstairs. At that point, I'm going, and I make it to the door up there, and I get up there, and my boy is on the ground, like he fell too. So I step over or whatever, and so at that point we up, boom, we up and out the apartment, but now we outside, so now we go down the stairs to get down to the ground level. Man, when I say I went down a few, I jumped at least like 20 stairs. All I remember is I felt my leg hurt. Like if I was old, I probably broke my leg. I like jumped and I could feel like a sharp pain in my knee, but I got it and I still was running, bro. And then when we got like a good 5 minutes away, we started catching our breath, like laughing, whatever, and I could just feel like pain like in my knee. Like I legit think I like probably like messed up something, but obviously nothing happened because then I had a doctor in my leg, so it worked just fine with her. But we start cracking up, and then what really started making us laugh, I was like, bro, we was just talking about what we would not do in a scary situation, like in a scary movies, and we did exactly what we said we would not do. So that's why it's always funny, like when I'm watching these, I'm like, when I do this, I do that, because when you really in those situations, like it's really hard to listen, because you hella freeze up, like, and your blood is already going, your adrenaline's going, you like dummy scared, you don't know what to do. So like those situations are always funny to me, but yeah. That's all. I just had to share that story because I always thought it was hella funny. We like to this day laugh at that freaking story, but like hella funny. But if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, guys. Amazing, that's awesome. But the next time we try it out. Oh, and it turns out his roommate wasn't crazy. He was just one of the, like one of the phases like Etika went through. Remember recently, I keep hitting the mic like one of those. He was cool after that.